This is how you can be cured. This is how you can find your health again. Find your nature, your wild nature. Go into wild nature to find your wild nature. Find this purity, this virginity. That is able to restore you once again, body, mind, soul, and spirit, to the truth, the integral truth of what and who you truly are. Go into wild nature to find your wild nature. Go in nature to find your true nature. That was just the car that was going into the mountains to cut the forest and to take it basically out. This is what happens in the wild mountains in Romania. Look at the beauty. Look at this and remember. See if you can remember. I've just went through something really traumatizing. I've came for the first time to make a hike, a trip somewhere here in the mountains of Romania, an area which I've never been to before. And I'm high in the mountains right now. I've just started a trail, but it's like I had to pass through 4 wood collecting sites, so they are basically deforesting all this area. It's just right after these trees here, it just starts the deforestation area, and it's really, really hard to witness it. It's beyond what my human self it's just this pain that it is felt. It's not coming from my human self. It's a pain which is intrinsic to what it is being done here, and I just happen to feel it, to sense it. It was so painful that I couldn't even film or record anything. Maybe if I'll manage, I'll record something when I'll come back, but it's like here in the wild nature, high in the mountains, there is such a virginity I can't even explain. There are all these forests, they are like really large pine trees, and then at the base of the forest there is only this green moss and rocks everywhere. It's just like a fairyland, man. It's incredibly beautiful. It's incredible, and mushrooms and moss and rivers and birds, and it's just incredible, the beauty. And to come here and to do this type of destruction and to cut the forest down and to just why do we live in a world where trees are being used as fuel? Why do we live in a world in 2024 with so much so-called technology available, so many inventions like the freaking quantum computer, it's being developed, and don't tell me like we don't have a chance to invent another type of heating system that could ensure heat in a clean, natural way for the entire humanity. I don't know. There could be so many technologies invented, like just using the freaking atoms in the air, just harnessing the energy of the atoms somehow. But anyhow, so many other clean technologies. Look at this. Could be invented, you know. To freaking stop the cutting down of the forests. Like, why? So all that area there, it started to be deforested. Imagine that. And there is so much in the forest. There is not only the freaking food, like you would find wild raspberries, which have, by the way, the most delicious taste you can't even imagine if you never tasted them. Can't find in the store. It's like a concentrated taste of raspberry. It's not only that the food has free food, basically. Not only that the forest has free food, but it's more than what it can give to us physically. It's what it can give to our soul, which this is what few people fail to see yet. It's what it can give to us through energy. It's like come in a forest with pine trees, in high in the mountains, and you will feel that just the smell. Do you know, by the way, how it smells around here? Just the freaking permeating aroma of pine tree resin everywhere. It's just therapeutic to just walk in this forest. Just a holy thing, man. Just they take resin and they make incense out of it. Well, come in a forest, stop cutting down the forest, and come in a forest instead of coming and taking a resin and going to a church and lighting it up so you can smell something more holy. Come in a forest and walk for some hours, and you will see the difference in yourself. You will see how your entire system, body, mind, soul and spirit, changes and gets rejuvenated in a way in which it can hardly be described. Come and walk in a forest, in a pine tree forest. Find the wild places, as untamed by human touch as possible. Walk in a pine tree forest and be imbued by all this smell, this natural incense, basically, that rejuvenates your entire mind. You'll start thinking differently. You'll start viewing yourself differently, reality differently. The situation in your life will start being seen with much more clarity. Because your mind clarifies. So instead of people coming and cutting the forest and taking incense and going to churches and lighting it up, why not leave the church exactly as it is, the natural church, which is the earth, which is nature? Why build churches when you have already the most holiest of churches here, in nature? And it doesn't have to be necessarily a pine tree forest. You can find wild nature wherever you are. Find the wild nature in the place that you live or near it. It could be those, for example, one of the places that if I would manage to get to in this life, I would God, I feel so cold in a way to get to this place of the Grand Canyon and just be there, man. Just be there with the rocks, with the desert. God, there is such an intense connection, by the way, between me and the desert. I don't know why. Look at this guy. This is something different. It might be a cedar or something. So I'm eating raspberries, by the way, while walking with you, let's say, through this trail. Like really, I cannot describe the taste of these raspberries. So it's so simple in a way. We have everything here as human beings given by this earth, this nature. We have everything at our disposal to not only eat, because that's the thing, it's not only about having food, to eat or stuff like this. Nature is not only here to nurture us. It's not like the mother which is here to give us milk and that's it. It's much more than this, guys. It's much more than this. It's our chance to learn, in a way, the language of life. Nature is the book of life. Every tree, every leaf, every stone, every molecule of water, and every molecule of air, let's say, if air has molecules, but I guess it has, since from what I remember. So all this is just raspberries, all this field here, and we are already higher up. It's not about only eating food and sustaining ourselves physically into this physical form. It's about remembering who we are by learning how to read the book of nature. Because you know that myth of Osiris, where there was this original being that at some point it got split into multiple parts, and the parts of this being were used to create the world. The way I see it, the world, nature, is created as a sort of, it tells the story of who we are at our core. It tells about our origins. If viewed correctly and if we interact with it correctly, it is here to make us remember who we are. So it's not only sustaining ourselves physically into existence, it's learning about who we truly are. It's just by staying with nature, walking in nature. Don't believe me? Just go and test this. Go and walk in nature, but you have to walk in a certain way. You have to do this in a certain way. You have to first learn how to quiet your mind and walk in this state of presence. And if you go in nature in this state of presence and you don't come back with an heightened state of knowledge, you will see the inspirations that come to you. You will see how you start to make sense out of things which previously seemed obscured. I don't want to tell you more, because I keep away from, pre-programming through my own experience the other beings. This is why sometimes I keep away from describing some of these experiences. But go in nature with a quiet mind and see for yourself if it's valid what I'm saying or not. See for yourself if you feel like you found your home once again, or at least the path towards it, or not. Oh, so there's a split in the road. Ah, not necessarily a sign. Should I assume it's that one? Ah. I could assume it's that one. I've been recording. Oh, here's a triangle. What the heck is it saying? It's a red triangle. We're looking for the blue triangle. So this is not it. Well, one of the pathways, then it's out of the question. And I think it's that one. I think it's this one. Look, okay, so here's where we are getting to. We're getting to the freaking vista of the wild forest being deforested. Look at that. So this patch is here. I don't know if it's visible on the camera, but this patch is here. They're just deforested areas which have been recently, as of this year. I've read a sign below which said the deforestation goes on from 2022 to 2024. So this is recent. So all these areas, like at the top of the mountain, man, like you don't come into the top of the mountains and freaking take the forest out of the top of the mountains, where is the most wild, clean air possible. Oh. I have to look for a sign at some point. So, nature is the temple, the outer temple. Test for yourself, come in nature, in wild nature, wherever you find wild nature in your area, and go and start staying at least 3-4 hours per week in wild nature without a cell phone, without anything, just walk and try to be in as much state of presence as possible. Walk in a state of presence, because in this state of presence, this is how you can read this book of life, that it is inscribed in every leaf, every tree, every droplet of water, every cloud in the sky, here in nature. This is how you can read the book. And this book opens itself to you. So again, to continue my previous thought, it's not only about finding food, and this is what it's all like, all that there is to nature is us giving us food and nurture. No, nature is the university of life. It's here way beyond what it can give us, is way beyond food. It's like this is a letter in a book, and it smells incredible. But the first effects that are felt is this rejuvenation that I'm describing. The mind getting rejuvenated, the soul feeling nourished, at peace, balanced, confident. Again, the soul starts feeling that true expressive energy of life which just wants to express and create, that creative energy, you'll feel your existence has meaning once again. And then the body gets rejuvenated also. So as much and as long as you stay in wild nature, you'll see the effects. You'll see how many physical conditions that you felt previously affected by start to naturally wear off on their own. This is why those health sanatories were built in the Alps or higher in the mountains. It's because of this purified air and this purified energy which is here in the mountains, high in the mountains, that is able to cure us, because it cures our mind and our soul. Then of course the body gets cured, because we all know by now that the body just somatizes the illnesses and diseases that first exist in our mind and in our soul / heart. I have the impression that I might have needed to go through that red triangle somehow. I don't see any blue triangles, but I'm just gonna go a bit more, because let's see where this road takes. So it's obvious to me that this cutting down of the forests and so many other destructive things that humanity has done, it was not because we were truly needing wood to heat ourselves. For sure, if intention would have been there, as I said, immediately a certain technology would have been invented. Oh, so this was a area which was deforested, whatever, in the past. Oh, wow. So it's not about that we truly don't have any other idea of how to heat ourselves. It's because there is a deliberate destruction of the earth. Earth being this book of life, which is here to help us remember. It is our book through which we can remember who we are. Of course, destroying nature, destroying the book, well, that accomplishes the goal, in a way, of continuing to keep all of us in forgetfulness. If you rip apart the pages from the book, of course, how can you make sense of the story anymore? So this is my opinion. This is why I think Earth has been destroyed. Not because they truly needed the oil or the wood. It was a deliberate action of destruction, not one created out of need. And my feeling, it is this one, that as much as the earth is destroyed, we forget ourselves. It's as simple as that. This is why we can see how visibly the average intelligence of the human being has decreased severely over the last decades. We are probably more dumber than, I don't know, humanity ever was. We enter more and more into a state of limbo, to a state of ignorance, retardism. It's what it's called. So as you destroy the earth, you destroy our memory. And by the way, the trees, I remember feeling this 2 years ago. The trees are the memory keepers. Like similar to neurons in our brain, like trees really resemble neurons. As much as you destroy the outer neurons, the trees, the forests of the earth, you destroy the inner neurons. Of course. It's known by now, that thing with as above, so below, as within, so without. So you destroy the outer brain, which is created by the trees. You destroy the inner brain. This is how we become retarded. Unknowing who we are, forgetting our true skills, our true capacities, our true powers. We just live in limbo. Complete retards. feels like coming home. This is how I feel right now. It feels like entering the gates of my kingdom. This is a holy experience. So I started my trip towards a certain destination, and right now I'm 2 hours into the trip. I thought it's gonna be 3 hours until I reach that destination, and then I have to return. But 2 hours in, a guy on a bicycle just happened to pass, and he just told me about this other destination, which supposedly it's 1.5 hours maximum away. And he told me like the destination and the path towards the destination is extremely beautiful. So he left, and then I started to wander, and I decided to change the destination. And right now I follow the indications of this guy, and I've just entered into this path. Like, look at this. I'm just 100 meters in or something, but I had to open the GoPro camera and record this because it's rare in my life that I've seen such a beauty. wild blueberries. I've stopped to gather some wild blueberries, and it's the first time I'm in an area such like this one. It's so high into the mountains. I think it might be approaching 2000 meters high. The pine tree forest starts to, you know, at this altitude it doesn't grow anymore, and now you have these, I don't know the name in English, but they are in Romania, they are called Jnapon, I think. These smaller type of pines of sorts. But the vista is incredible and the feeling is unbelievable. And it's because here pine trees do not grow anymore. Nobody is coming, you know, to cut anything, and this area that I'm entering into right now, it's much more unstained by human touch and human feet. It's still is a touristic area. You get to a certain lake by following this route here, a lake high, a glacier lake, I think, high into the mountains. On those peaks there somewhere, or I don't know. But it's still a touristic area, but it's much more unwalked by human feet. And when you get to such wildness, it's just wow. The feeling, it's unbelievable. It's so much energy, so much purity, so much undescribable things all around. fear accompanies all true adventures, and courage accompanies all true adventurers. Look, if you're serious about truly wanting the truth, truly wanting to not only know the truth, but be the truth, experience the truth of yourself and the nature of reality. I can tell you something from my experience so far. Leave behind all the spiritual teachings, everything that you've ever heard, all the books, all the teachers, all the guides. Find solace in nature. Go in nature without a phone, without technology. And with this practice of mental stillness, you have to be able to shut your mind and your thoughts at your will. If you're able to do this, then my advice and my recommendation from what I've experienced, go in nature with this clean mental state and walk. Just walk. Do nothing at all. You can take some provisions with you and just walk in nature. Walk. And be in this state of pure awareness. And make a custom to do this at least once a week. And the other thing, simplify your life. Try to simplify your life as much as you can. Try to live as simple as you can. If you can, find a job which you enjoy doing. And I would recommend being a job which keeps your attention in the physical world. So nothing digital, nothing with laptops, nothing, just something simple, like you can start walking dogs for people, or you can volunteer in one of these work-away type of villages or camps or retreats or whatever, and you can just cook or clean the area or do whatever is needed 4 hours per day, and then you have the shelter and the food provided, so you have to worry less about food and shelter, and you can live a simple life doing something for the world 4 hours per day, doing gardening or whatever in these volunteering projects, or cleaning nature or whatever, and you know you have the rest of the day for yourself. So you can contemplate, you can write, you can do whatever you need that makes you feel the most you, the most authentic, the most real. And then start communing with nature. Make a habit of going in nature at least once per week, and stay as much as you can, like from 3 to 6 hours, even 10. Take small provisions, simple food with you, light food, and go. And always go and always walk in nature with this still mental state. Forget the teachers, forget the books, forget all the notions of why we are here on earth. That we are spirits trapped in matter, that we are whatever gods, creator gods, or, just farmed for our energy, or forget these notions. Just, you've read it all, you've heard it all. Just be. Just allow yourself to be for once. And figure out if there is more to you that only you can discover and nobody else can give you or get you. Figure out. And I can tell you from my experience, nature is here to make you remember. Nature is here to give you your power back, your knowledge back. She is here to make you remember. But you have to open up to her. You have to open up. In another recording, I've mentioned how I see this nature, this book of life, symbolized extremely well in the second tarot card called the High Priestess. Go and look at the tarot card called the High Priestess and just look at it. Because that's where I see nature. It's the High Priestess which has the book of life opened on her lap. And it's ready and available to unveil herself and show you the mysteries. And you are one of them. You are one of these mysteries. So from my experience, it's time we start to learn for real what we truly are. And I think this can only be done by learning how to read this book of life called the Earth. and nature. So it's up to you from now on. You either take yourself seriously, you find out who you are and what you are, or you can continue to shuffle books, teachers, YouTube videos, materials. You can do that in parallel, by the way. No one says like you need to scrap it all, But I would advise to stop giving them your true credits. You can read them as a trivia entertainment at best, in a way, just to see what the world has said about what the world is, just to be informed in a way. But you take your real knowledge from yourself with the help of nature. You find your nature by going in nature. That's where your true nature abides and is there to meet you. Find your nature by going in nature. I had no idea that I'll be arriving here today. This is the Jezero Lake in the Cindrel Mountains in Romania. Jezerul Mare. Glacier Lake. "19 meters depth. Or perhaps no, this is 1,918 meters height, the height of this place. So almost 2,000 meters high.